button.
You're live.
Hello, good evening everybody. I shall just get my phone, I'll be back in a second. Make sure it's turned down.
1930.
Bang on time. Right, bam, bam, bam. Oh, stay there. You're not allowed up. Am I in?
You're in.
Is Bamba in?
He's in.
Good evening everybody. So, we thought we'd do it from what we call the nook this evening. So this is our little sitting, little lounge area just off the dining area, which is just off the kitchen. So this is all really part of the kitchen area. So yeah, nice and relaxed for a change. So yeah, plenty to tell you, some things to show you. So I thought it's been a while since we had a catch up like this. So where to start? Well, I'll start really with a couple of things that I have been making of late, and these have mainly been completed not as part of YouTube videos, but something to go up onto Twitter or Instagram. So I'll just show you, and what it is. On the 7th of August for the Ladies Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 7th of August I'm speaking in the evening. I'm guest talker at a Ladies Club in, where is it? Hazel Grove, that way?
No, it's in Wigan Way.
Oh, Wigan Way, okay.
Yeah.
Chuffing miles out there. So, yeah, a Ladies Club have asked me to speak in the evening in Wigan.
Twitter. Now. Notification.
And they had also asked me, sorry about the phone just jerking up like that, they had also asked me to turn some little bits and bring them along so they can perhaps purchase them, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to make some more things, a couple more pens, so ignore the drumsticks for now. I'm sure a lot of you know what they're all about, but I shall talk about that in a moment, so let me have a feel. I've got here a couple of pens, Zeta style pens turned out of yew. So they're very nice, very smooth, lovely pens. Really pleased with how they feel. So I'll be taking those. I don't want to take things that are massively expensive because they might just have a few quid on them, but I thought I'd take a punt and take a couple of pens. Little Sapele bud vase there, nice little delicate thing, really nice. Let's just make sure I feel for what I'm doing. Then I did another little style of bud vase, more like a little bud pot, again Sapele. They both came out of the same blank, but this one it just has a bit of texturing on the middle. And a groove above and below just to delineate that and just make it a border, a nice neat border there. So I have got here no guesses for what that is. I've not made one for quite a while, so it's a honey dipper. I think it could be mahogany. I think this is a piece that Dr. D sent me from Denmark. So it's got 2 rings, and then if you include the top and bottom, 4. And then it's probably difficult for you to see, but underneath here, just underneath the bottom one, I got my small texturing tool and just put a little bit of texture on there. So that's a nice little honey dipper. And then I've done this lidded box. So the main part of the project, the canister really, is lime, and I turned a separate base out of palisander, and I turned a finial on the top out of bog oak, and I also put a little bead on the lid and a little bead at the base of the canister, and hopefully you can hear that.
That's nice pop.
Beautiful, beautiful fit. Obviously it'll need Nicola to line the grain up now that I've been boogering about with it. But yeah, absolutely wonderful. And also in the underneath of the lid I've put my spiral detail on the base as well. So that'll just need a bit of a polish now. I've had my grubby little fingers on it. So
Can I just tell you who's on the chat?
yeah, certainly.
Mike Atkinson,
Hi bro, big love man.
Cy Smith.
Hi Si, did you get the pen?
Yes, he's got it. Wayne the Woodturner.
Hi Wayne.
Wayne Bigfoot Woodcraft.
Hi Wayne, lots of Waynes. My brother's
Yeah.
called Wayne as well, so
Murder Fang.
that's a cool name. Alright, Murder.
And Mike Atkinson has sent you $10 as well.
Oh, thank you bro, that's wonderful. Thank you so very much.
Super chat.
Yeah, super chat.
And Dewey's Shed has just come on.
Who?
Dewey's Shed.
Dewey's Shed. Hi Dewey. Good name. Now all I can think of is
Dewey, Louis and Huey.
yeah, and also Malcolm in the Middle. There's a lad called Dewey on that. Huey, Dewey and Louis. Oh, yeah, so thank you so very much for joining me at this little...
Wayne Bigfoot Woodcraft, it's waning men, hallelujah.
yes.
It's raining here.
Yeah, it's been absolutely... well, it's been a deluge since... what time did that guy come?
Well, 5 o'clock, but it was probably
Yeah, about half
before
3.
that,
It's
yeah.
been throwing it down here really, really hard for a couple of hours, and it's just stopped now. And I did a tweet. I spent a couple of hours cleaning the car. We haven't got a huge car. It's a decent size, it's not like a mini MPV. But me doing, so I don't miss things, I like to rinse a panel. Sorry, I rinse the whole car off. And then I wash a panel, rinse a panel, so I don't miss bits. Again, you know, with being blind, it's not like routine. So it takes me hours, and I gave it a quick vacuuming out, and practically got all the stuff put away, came in, spent about half an hour answering some emails, and then the heavens opened, and I thought, well, I'll put it on the tweet. Bloody typical. Yeah, so I don't know why I bother sometimes, but anywho. What else? So yes, I've got these drumsticks here now. So I turned these yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday. So just about at the limits. I've done a video. Well, Nicola and I have done a video because Matthew's obviously back in Hong Kong. I had to do it on the 1218. Lathe, so 18-inch between centres. It was just at the limits, and in fact what I had to do was not use a revolving tail centre, but I found a 1 Moss taper dead centre, so I had to make a wooden plug for the quill and put a taper on it and everything to accept the dead centre. And then obviously you put wax on the dead centre so it doesn't burn the wood. So I only just got it. There was nothing left at the chuck end and nothing left. So I had to. There'd have been no way really to get in with a spindle gouge and curl these over because these have been made. This is a set of 5A drumsticks. So they have to be a regulation diameter and length to be 5As. It's what the commission says. So there was no room, so I had to cut off the end with the Japanese saw there, and I've done the shaping of both ends on the disc sander. It was the only way that I could do it and keep the length. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So, you know, to look at them, I'm sure you're thinking, well, it's a simple bit of turning, but I haven't got a steady rest or anything like that, or a centre steady. So there was a lot of vibration, and you know, there's always that thought in my mind of they begin to vibrate that much, even though you can get your hands around and support the work. You know, I was thinking, well, please don't vibrate, and then with that oscillation you get a catch. So it took all day to do both. They had to be the correct diameter, so lots and lots of checking with calipers. But I videoed just the turning of one. The second one was identical. These are for J. Osmond, for those of you that don't know. So the woman that's commissioned these knows the Osmonds, and they're coming over to the UK. So these are going to go away to the engravers now, and she said she wants them to say J. Osmond on them. So we're going to get them laser engraved, and she needs these by the 22nd of August. We're not to put the video up yet because she wants that to be a surprise for J. Osmond, but...
Right, well, there's a question from Bob Reese.
Yeah.
Did you have to check for tuning to see if they make the sound needed?
No. What we did, we swerved that part, and what we did is we went and got a pair of 5A drumsticks. They are not going to be wasted because Charlie, who's a drummer, his sticks are 5As as well. So, I mean, all I could do, I don't think Jay should play with these, and I don't think he will. That's not to say because they won't work. They feel good. But, you know, drumsticks can snap when used, you know, in the heat of battle. And I think really Jay should just keep these. I'd like him to keep them as a memento from, obviously, his friend that's commissioned them. So no, we just got a set of 5A drumsticks, measured them, checked the diameter, etc. That's, you know, how I did it. But they haven't been, you know, acoustically checked. Yes. So at the end of the day, I've done the best that I can. But I'm very happy with them. Nicola said they look lovely. They feel great. They're made of ash as well. So.
Dewey says we're saying his name wrong.
Okay.
He loves it when English people say a Welsh name. Even his mum can't say his name properly.
Okay.
So I don't know how it's pronounced, but anyway, for the moment he's just going to be Dewey.
Okay. And we apologise
for
giving your name such a mullering. We're hugely sorry.
Bob Reese says well done.
Thanks, Bob.
Dewey's Shed says, are you at Yandles this year?
No, I'm not at Yandles. Let's carry on talking. So I'm doing the 7th of August, speaking at a women's club in the evening in Wigan. This weekend we have got what I've been calling Chest Fest. So it's Terry from Chestnut and his posse are putting on a 25th birthday celebration. So we're going to hang out with as many people as we can. So I don't know if you're going, the people that are listening to this, or you're able to go, or you're not able to go, or you don't even want to go. But we thought, let's go and we can go and hang with some people. Tiny Turner's had to pull out of demonstrating for personal reasons, but Nicola said Pat Carroll is now going to demonstrate instead, and there's Gary Lowe's there, Phil Irons, you know, a real good group of turners there demonstrating. So lots to listen to. I'm just going to be there drinking lots of tea throughout the day, listening, and just, you know, hanging and chilling with people. So it's going to be good. So we're there tomorrow night, all day Saturday, and most of the day Sunday. So Chest Fest. That should be fun. Also, what's the organisation that have been in touch from Charlie? Shedfest.
Shedfest, yeah.
Shedfest, 3rd of September. Worcester University Arena. It is the Shedfest exhibition, open day, award ceremony, gala dinner in the evening, and I have been asked to be keynote speaker. So that's obviously a great honour, and I shall do my best to give a good speech and obviously share my story with the people in the audience. So that's like I say, a huge honour and be a lot of fun. And they've also asked if I can do a little demonstration during the day. So of course I said yes, and because it's for charity, you know, it's a very, very worthwhile cause, and we all know how important it is to get into our workshops and garages and sheds and to make things and have fun and be creative and give ourselves, you know, that time we need to forget about all the other worries in the world and just concentrate on our projects and making things. So that's a big part of Shedfest, inspiring and motivating people to get into the sheds and garages and workshops and help brush away the stresses of life. And it helps a lot of people with disabilities as well cope and find some purpose and independence. So very important and quite close to my heart when I think about it. So that's cool. So there's another speaking opportunity. What else do I have to mention?
I don't know. What's happened recently?
Oh yeah, we've had a guy come round this evening, haven't we? Just very quickly. We had a wasp nest. So he's come and applied I think it's a powder, and he had this huge long rod and he's applied the powder to the nest. So that's cool. And it was when Henshaw Society for the Blind came around here to film me talking about accessible tech that assists me during the day. We were going into the workshop, and Mark from Henshaw says, "You see, you got, you know, tons and tons of wasps hanging around there. What's that going on?" So obviously it's a wasp nest. So they'd found a way in under the fascia, really, just through a little gap in the mortar. So they've been nuked now, and then early next week Nicola's going to go up some ladders. That's one thing I cannot risk doing, going up ladders to any, you know, appreciable height, because if I forget and I step off, you know, I could be in a very, very serious way very quickly. So as gung-ho as I am, I'd go up ladders, a rope ladder, you know, if I was, you know, sort of like, you know, doing sort of zip line and you had to go up a ladder. But going up, you know, domestic extension ladders over a paved surface, doing a job like that, I just know that, you know, that's maybe asking too much. So Nicola's going to go up and just put a bit of mortar with a pointed trowel bit where the wasps were getting in. So yes, anyway, for those of you that don't know, I'm an RPT. So yeah, we decided to call this Talking Turning an RPT today. Oh yeah, and I've got this new, this is this mug here. Now this is
I'm
just
going to redesign it.
It's a prototype. So Nicola decides now that she likes the logo, well, the slogan, the image on the side. So this one is, what does this one say? You can turn.
You can turn your hand to anything.
Yeah, so it's that one that's sort of like you have to look at it.
It's upside down.
It's upside
the text
down.
is upside down, but turn is the right way up, whichever way you look at it.
You see, it's clever. So yeah, so these mugs are going to be available on our shop, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want a nice enamelled metal workshop mug and you want to support the blind wood turner, that'd be very cool. And your favourite workshop drink will taste amazing out of it, and it's unbreakable, which is why I started using metal cups in the workshop, because I was going through some of Nicola's finest mugs in there. Which, go on.
Dewey says, how's the journey to become a professional turner going?
How's the journey? Well, I've been a professional turner about 18 months, is it? Something like that. When
January last year.
Oh, January last year I became a professional turner.
Twitter. Now. Notification.
I've got phones going off everywhere.
I've switched the notifications off.
So yeah, I've been a professional turner since January of last year, and you know, got an accountant and all that sort of stuff, and making sure the taxman's paid and things. But excuse me, my road to becoming an RPT, just to sort of like extend on that, has been it's been enjoyable. And when you get all the paperwork through and they're saying what you're to expect at your assessment, you know, they say it's not meant to be intimidating, but it's a very rigorous assessment, and it was. I wasn't nervous per se, but when you know that there's someone there writing notes, documenting everything, photographing everything, and video recording as well, and checking, you know, finished pieces of work for finish and execution and style and form and shape, you do start to think, oh, it's an assessment. And you know, me being the eternal pessimist, I'm always thinking, well, that's it, I fluffed it, I must have done something wrong. So yeah, it was quite it was quite rigorous, very rigorous in fact. But the positive side of that is that I passed. So I've become the first ever accredited blind turner on the register ever. The first ever. Because they register of professional turners, which comes under the Worshipful Company of Turners, which has been in existence in its earliest form since the 12th century. So Edward III was commissioning turners to make wooden pints as a measure, so that the pint comes from there, the turners making these measures for Edward III. And then in 1604, James I gave the Worshipful Company its royal charter, and James I is the king that was at Horton Tower, 10 minutes up the road from here, and at Horton Tower it's where he knighted the loin of beef for it to become sirloin, so sirloin steak. So there's a good connection between James I, the Worshipful Company, and where we got married. So 6 degrees of separation somewhere along the line. So yeah, it was very interesting. It wasn't on the radar. Well, it was on the radar to get my RPT, and it was a big dream and a huge ambition. But you know, we hadn't really considered it until someone gave me a kick up the backside at Maker Central, and you know, they said, "Have you not thought of going for your RPT?" So I said, "Well, yeah, of course I have. It'd be a dream come true to be the first ever blind RPT." So that person sort of like coerced us into getting it sorted, and stop mucking about and just do it, was basically the message. So I did it and I passed. So thanks for asking. So obviously you never stop learning. You are always trying to improve your style and your technique and your art form. So in that respect, you know, the process of being a professional turner is ongoing and will be until the day I have to stop for whatever reason. But as far as becoming a professional turner, that was started last January, becoming the first accredited blind turner ever. Tick, boof. So yeah, we just have to keep on doing what we're doing, and let's just carry on with the journey and carry on, you know, inspiring as many people as we can that, you know, thought, oh, I couldn't do that, and these excuses, and oh, I couldn't possibly do that, and it's dangerous. Well, it isn't. You can do it. Of course you can. That's you know, a big part of what we do and why we do it. We're putting our head above the parapet. You know, it's so easy to do things and, you know, enjoy life just doing things, and that's fine for a lot of people. But we know, you know, we're sort of like on a different path from that, and like Nicola says, you know, you have to put your head above the parapet and put your money where your mouth is. And you know, if you're telling everyone, oh yeah, you know, you want to be the best, you know, blind wood turner that you possibly can be, and you need to inspire and motivate people, you can't do it just out of your own workshop. You need to get out there and crack on.
Some people didn't know what RPT meant. Do you want to just...
Right, RPT
cover
is
that
the
off?
Register of Professional Turners. So there is a database of professional wood turners that have met the required standard to be included on the register. And you're allowed to have the letters after your name. So I don't know if you would say it's, you know, it's like getting a diploma or a degree or something like that, but you have to reach the required standard, not only in your turning, but your business approach and your philosophy to wood turning as a business. Your workshop has to be health and safety compliant, cost compliant for when you're teaching. You know, obviously, if you're going to have people in your workshop, you need to make sure that there's first aid, eye wash, fire extinguishers, fire exit signs, smoke detectors, and what else? You know, just a really clean, safe environment. And also you need to make sure if you teach and you're, even if you're just a demonstrating wood turner, not even an RPT, but if you demonstrate, you should have your liability in place, public liability at the very least. And if you have people around your house teaching, you need public liability, and also you need fire extinguishers and first aid kits and whatnot. If you have someone in your workshop and something goes wrong, and an accident book as well, and something goes wrong, and you know, the authorities have to get involved, and you've not got these things in place, you are in for a severe arse kicking. So the RPT take all that very seriously. Like they say, it's rigorous, but it wasn't intimidating. The worst part was the weight.
Right, one question from somebody who's not been on before. What's a turner?
A turner is short for wood turner, and also you get machinists and turners on metal lathes, making things out of metal in engineering. So a wood turner, you have a special machine called a wood lathe. In the olden days, these were foot powered, called pole lathes or treadle lathes, and people in the forest would be able to turn, or you know, rudimentary workshops. So you put something on the lathe, it's turning at speed, and whilst it's turning, you are using a variety of different tools with different angles and bevels on them and profiles, and using different tools in a different way will give you a certain cut and a different way to shape and form things. So as the wood is spinning, you're driving very sharp, specialised chisels called gouges, and some are called chisels, and even the modern carbide cutters and chisels now. You're shaping the wood, and sometimes it's like pottery in reverse, but with pottery you start with a lump of clay and it materialises. Wood turning, you start with a lump of wood and you remove lots of it, and then you end up with your piece of art. So for instance,
Well,
you know,
let me just ask you another question now.
Yeah.
Bob Rees says, when you hold a piece of raw wood, do you feel an image of what you want it to be, or do you wait until you've started and let the wood talk to you for its final outcome?
I slightly feel the wood and think, oh, that could make a good this, that or the other. But, you know, it's not until I start shaping that I think, oh yeah, this is going to make a beautiful bowl of this, or you know, or oh yeah, I can do one of these that I've done before out of this bit of wood, or this image will come in my mind and I'll touch and feel and go, oh, actually, I'm going to try a different form here. And so a lot of it is spontaneous, expressive, and free-flowing. like I say, unless you get a commission where you have to work to dimensions and parameters as per the customer recommendations. But most of my turning is, it's just, it evolves, it really does evolve as I'm turning. So I know,
Memento. Now. Notification.
there's lots of professional turners that can work from sketches and things like that. That's no good to me. All my stuff's in here. So yeah, I hope that answered that. So yeah, most of the time it's like, let's just see what happens. Unless, like, my brother's asked me to do a Viking bowl for him, so I know that I've got to get a piece of wood yay big, because he wants quite a big one. So I need to get a piece of wood a certain diameter, a certain depth, and I know the process then to end up with, the Viking bowl, which is of course another shout out, made famous and brought to life by Nick Agar, the inspirational wood turning artist that has gone 3,500-4,000 miles that way, bless him. So I was talking to Nick Agar via text the other day, so he passed on his congratulations for the RPT thing. So yeah, he said he's doing alright, and he said thanks for keeping in touch, mate. So that's cool. So I'll keep in touch with Nick Agar, absolute chuffing genius in my book. So that's pretty much where we're up to. So Chest Fest tomorrow. I've shown you these little pieces that I've been doing for this women's club. I think I might take this. I think the ladies will like this, don't you, Nicola? This canister.
Yeah, it's nice.
So it's a nice little thing. Drumsticks. They need to go to the engravers now. So let me just recap. While I'm recapping, if you've got any questions you want to ask, feel free to pass them over to Nicola. Recap. Chest Fest this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. 7th of August, the Women's Club in Wigan, guest speaker, and take some of my wares. 3rd of September, Shedfest, keynote speaker, demonstrator, tea drinker. So that's all cool. So is anybody listening making it to Chest Fest this weekend?
Nobody said.
You're laughing.
Yeah. The guy that was, I don't know, it might be a lady, I don't know, was asking about the wood turning. He's just realised that you're blind. And now it makes sense.
All right. Yeah. Funnily enough, Jamie Oliver, the naked chef, how he never did it naked. And I'm not dissing Jamie. I like Jamie, and he's taught me a lot of great recipes, and I love listening to him. But he never did that programme naked, and I remember because it was on obviously quite a few years before I went blind. But the blind wood turner is blind. It's how it is. I'm blind. I've been blind 11 years this October, and I've been turning nearly 6 years now, or 6 years. So I've been blind 5 years before I got that. Oh, let's have a vampire state moment, and then listen to YouTube. Funny. I don't know if any of you have caught Mike Walt's post about that bit of a trolling he had from that guy, probably in the States. Telling Mike that he talks too much and he's boring when he talks and things like that. So everyone was giving Mike a lot of support, and I said jokingly, because me and Mike, we're good friends and I've got a lot of time for him and we love him to bits. I put, I agree, zip it, and Nicola nearly spat a tea out when we posted that. But then I sent him a personal text saying, You know we love you lots and we're only joking. And then I did put a post, was it Instagram that he'd been putting those remarks?
Yeah.
And then we put another post on Instagram saying, look Mike, and this is true, Mike Walt was the first YouTube woodturner I listened to. So I learnt a lot because he spoke a lot and he explained everything so well. So for someone to say, you know, can you be quiet? There's thousands of people all around the world. They've got a better understanding and better knowledge of woodturning because of Mike. So it's really, it's a huge shame that people are saying, oh, you're boring. You know, Mike is a great woodturner with so much skill and passion for the art form. Yeah, he needs to be allowed to do his own thing. So yeah, I did pull his leg, but he knows that me personally being blind, I need as much speaking as is possible from as many people as possible. So yeah, we had a laugh, but I'm guessing he was working today because he's not texted back yet. But yeah, so yeah, Mike, do your own thing, mate. Yeah. So that's pretty much everyone.
I can't think of anything else.
That's everyone pretty much up to date.
Wayne Bigfoot Woodcraft says Mike Walt is brilliant. It was his videos that got me interested in turning.
Yeah. Well, the first demonstration I ever saw was Colwyn Way, who's Axminster's master woodturner in residence, and also there's Jason Breach as well, who's hearing impaired if you didn't know. So there's Jason and Colwyn who were there, sort of like senior turners. So Colwyn was doing a demonstration at Axminster Warrington store, and that was the first live demonstration I ever heard. So that was like, I couldn't believe. I'd heard obviously Mike Walt and Carl Jacobson by this time and all the usual suspects on YouTube, but the first I was stood, you know, behind, you know, the other side of the screen listening to Colwyn, and I was like jaw on the floor. It's like, flipping heck, have I made the right decision trying to learn this? It was amazing, and you know, obviously I've demonstrated alongside Colwyn now and met him many times and shared a drink and meals with him. Huge inspiration, and you know, Colwyn did the whole 4 or 5 year apprenticeship at college to become a woodturner. So absolutely wonderful turner, really inspirational in his own right, demonstrated all over the world. So yeah, Mike Walt, first video turner I listened to. Colwyn Way, the first live woodturning demonstration I listened to. So those two, it's their fault. It's their fault that I sit here now and witter on, boring my subscribers. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Unless there's any more questions.
No.
Let's feel for my mug.
No.
Right, so just a short one and a recap. So we're plenty busy still. Still got a few more Axminster demos to do. Cardiff, Nuneaton, Sittingbourne as the summer draws to a close. Some more local woodturning clubs coming up, Huddersfield, etc. So yeah, busy. Still, the Worshipful Company of Turners are on their summer vacation, so when they return I will get my certificate and the cloth badge that you can sew onto your smock to say you're a member of the register and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, until they reconvene I won't be getting my certificate and badge and stuff, but as soon as I get them I'll show you guys. I'll keep you informed. For anyone that's coming to Chessfest, we'll speak to you there, and the rest of you have a wonderful weekend, all of you. You know that you're all amazing friends, and we appreciate you all spending time with us so very much. Thanks bro over in Peoria, Illinois, for that super chat donation. It's going to a great home, i.e. me. Oh, nickel as well. I'll split it $5 each. And then, yeah, that's it. So thank you. We can't thank you enough, all you guys out there. So until the next time, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up and keep on turning, everybody, and keep doing what you're doing, and don't let anybody dictate to you what to do. Tell them to sod off. So bye. Just have to wait now while Nicola finds the
Finish. Finish. Button. Finish. Alert. Are you sure that you want to stop streaming? Heading.
I have to pull it out because
we are
it's...
sure.
End. But.